we wanted to get the dunks. We wanted the crowd to go crazy in our Coliseum. And that was me being that type of person, just trying to get the crowd hyped.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Real, where we sit down with some of the world's best athletes and react to their highlights. I'm your host, Kenny Beecham, and today I am honored to have Hall of Famer, Defensive Player of the Year, 9-time All-Star Gary Payton. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm super excited to have you on the show. For the people that know me know that I love a great defensive player. So having you is like the best defensive player at the guard position. It's going to be hype. I'm super excited to get to some of your highlights.
Man, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So let's get to some of your Seattle Supersonics days, man, because you and Shawn Kemp, y'all got a lot of highlights together. A play that I'm questioning, is this something that y'all practice, the behind the back pass to Kemp?
You know what? This is just something me, just being me. You know what I'm saying? I seen Shawn right there. I could have went up and laid the ball up, but this is about basically showing off and doing things that we did. We wanted to get the dunks. We wanted the crowd to go crazy in our Coliseum. And that was me being that type of person, just trying to get the crowd hyped.
So I'm going to give you some great duos in history, and I want you to tell me how they match up against you and Shawn Kemp. Is that cool?
That's fine with me.
Two guys that y'all played a lot against in the 90s, Karl, Malone, John Stockton.
Oh, you want to start off with the tough one?
Yeah, I got to start off with the tough one.
You don't come at me with the tough one already. Everybody know I got great respect for John Stockton. You know, I idolize him, and I just couldn't tell him that while I was playing him that because it wouldn't have been really good for me. You know what I'm saying? And Karl Malone became a great friend, and we're tight now. They were the two guys that we wanted to go at all the time. I think me and Shawn always modeled ourselves after them, and we wanted to beat them. I think in '96, when we beat them to go to the NBA Finals and we overtook them, I think that we became that duel that was to be reckoned with. And I think compared to them, they're above us. They played so long together with each other, 20 years or so, and I just think they were better than us. We had good games against them, and they taught us. I think they are our mentors.
So how about we get a little modern with this, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson?
I don't think they're nothing like us. I mean, we were a duel where we were more alley-oops and lobs. They're more shooters and scorers. Mm-hmm. I think they're a good duo, but comparing to me and Shawn, no, I don't think they compare to us. You know, we were more dynamic. We were more flashy. We were more a run-up type of situation. They run, but they shoot the ball a lot. They shoot a lot of threes, different era from us. We penetrate, we do things, we lob dunks and do that stuff like that. They're just a different era.
MJ and Scotty.
They compare with us. They was a great duel. I think they were above us too. You know, with the John Stockton and Karl Malone, I give them props. I'm going to give them their props too. We played them in the '96. We lost to them in the finals. We played them a lot. I think they were a great duel. You know, both of them are Hall of Famers, and Jordan is considered the best basketball player to ever play. I think we just battled them all the time. But as in them being up there, they're above us.
Let's get to the next highlight where you got it between the legs to Shawn Kemp. You already said that y'all was showmen, but you remember this play?
I do. We were coming down, San Antonio had it, and I just, you know, I told you, I'm just a guy that's just gonna try everything. I'm trying anything. And I knew Shawn was coming when we got the steal. And when we got the steal and he was on the run, I told you he always say woo woo or whatever to us. And that's just the way it is. Me and him had a good knack for each other. And he was a part of that steal. He was in that steal. So I had to reward him. It made a highlight film. That's why we watching it 20 years later.
So you say you just trying stuff out there. Has there ever been a time where you tried something between the legs, a crazy alley-oop, but it didn't go the way you planned?
Yes, it was. Everybody knows about the one when I threw off the glass and Shawn tried to dunk it, and he tried to dunk it too hard, and it bounced way back. And it was a crucial time of the game. George Karl benched us both. And he was yelling and screaming at us when he went on the bench. And I looked at him, and Shawn looked at him, and I told him, I said, I'm going to try it again, so don't worry about it. And then I said, Shawn, next time you just dunk it, too bad. You know what I'm saying? So, that was a play that we messed up. And we did it about 2 or 3 times, matter of fact.
Is there somebody in the league that reminds you of yourself when you watch him play?
I think 2 of them who act like me on the defensive side. And I got to give that to Beverly from the Clippers and Smart from the Boston Celtics. I think both of them act just like me, as in being a dog on the defensive end, where they can talk to you and they can bag it up. And they're going to D you up and they're going to get steals. And they don't back down from nobody. That's why I like them 2 a lot, because they do that a lot. But them are the 2 that reminds me of myself on the defensive end. Nobody on the offensive end remind me, because a lot of guards don't post up.
I was gonna say that was like a big part of your game, and we just don't see the guards do that anymore.
Well, you know, this basketball era is about nothing but jump shooting now. It's about all threes. They want to put up a lot of points.
Like Russell Westbrook probably does it the most out of all the guards out there.
Yeah,
he can do it more.
He comes down and try to post you up a little bit when he's getting a chip on his shoulder. Other than that, he doesn't post up like that. He likes a speed game. You know, that's what he wants. Mid-range, he'll stop and pull up. But when people go at him and they're too small, he likes to do that. But I really love him if he would have posted up a little bit more.
Let's get to the next highlight. We have a lob from the knees.
Yeah, this was one of the things where I'm on my knees here when I get the steal. I see Kendall coming, and all I don't want is a Rod Strickland is to hit the ball. So once I get on my knees, as you see here in Rod, and I picks Rod, I know he's going to jump because he knows what I'm going to do. So I throw it up really quick and fast, and Rod couldn't get to it. And it was a perfect pass to Kendall Gill.
Let's get to the next highlight. A lot of people say this is like one of the best saves in NBA history when you're going out of bounds. You remember this one?
Yeah, to Ricky Pierce. It's a good steal by Ricky. Ricky throws the ball right here too far. But when I see him trailing, and then he's trailing a little bit, you know, and I seen it. It was just luck right here. I knew where he's at. I was just hoping that the basketball got to him.
A lot of people wouldn't admit if it was luck. They would say that they had eyes in the back of their head.
Nah, this one right here was luck. When I went through my legs, I was like, please let it go to him, please. And it went to him.
Let's get to another highlight. The steal on Jordan.
You know what? Everybody doesn't understand. I didn't steal the ball. If we look at the play, Vincent Askew steals the ball. See right here, he steals the ball and I just grab it.
Oh, I see that.
When I grab it, what happens is I dunks it and then I look at him. They thought I stole the ball too, but I really didn't steal the ball. I'm not gonna stop giving the credit for that. Vincent Askew stole that ball.
It seemed like you had some words with him right there. Do you remember what you were possibly saying?
Yeah, we have been chit-chatting all this series, because coming into this series, I had just one Defensive Player of the Year, and he was MVP. So on the front cover of the Sports Illustrated, it had Mission Impossible, and it had me on the cover saying the defensive man is going to try to stop the offensive man, Michael Jordan. And I think he got really upset about that. You know what I'm saying? From them doing that. But it was a great challenge. Every time I played him, I wanted to play him every year. And I just kept wanting to play him. And, you know, hey, it turned out they beat us 4-2. But we had a good series. I wish we could have came back and tried to play him again. But it was just something. I just like the competitive of me and Michael Jordan.
We're going to stick with that series with some more highlights. Around Game 4, explain to the world what it took to slow Mike down.
What it took for me to slow him down is to keep making him work. I kept making him work. I kept not letting him get the ball on his sweet spot. And when you don't let him get the ball on his sweet spot, he has to work it more and exert more energy. And then when you exert more energy, me coming back down on the other end of the floor and letting him guard me, I exert more energy on him to go back at him. And when I was doing that, it was working, you know, and then all of a sudden Phil Jackson said it's just too much, you know, let Pippen guard him, who was a bigger player, and I couldn't post him all the time. So you see me, I always fronted him, I make him work, I make him do it, and they were just, you know, the referees are letting us play. And, you know, a great basketball player in itself, he's going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting. And that's what I like, because I'm gonna keep fighting and fighting and fighting, making it harder. And he just got tired. You know, at times he got tired.
So you mentioned before that John Stockton was just a little bit more difficult to guard than MJ. Explain to the world why you say that is.
Because people gotta understand, John Stockton had the ball 95% of the time. You would have to guard him from 94 feet to 94 feet. When he comes down, he comes in off picks. If you try to post up, he'll run away and try to steal a basketball. You know that he's gonna set a pick. He's always setting picks. Next thing you know, if you look at him, he shoots the ball 10 times. He makes 8. He shoots the ball 7 times from the free throw line. He makes 6 or 7. Then all of a sudden, you got 15 assists, you got 5 rebounds, and 4 steals. You look up on the board, he has 26 points, 15 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 or 5 steals. That's hard to beat every night. Yeah. Every night, you cannot, and that's hard to guard him. And plus, he's only playing 34 minutes a game. Mm-hmm. If you got that much production in 34 minutes, that's a hard person to guard. Because you can't take your eye off of it.
So again, you end up winning Defensive Player of the Year, like the only point guard to ever do that. So I want to have you give us like maybe a top 5 hardest players to guard, because it's not that many.
That is good, because I guarded everybody and I didn't care who it was. You know what I'm saying? I would never tell them they were hard to guard. Mm-hmm. But nowadays that it's all over, John Stockton, Michael Jordan, Mitch Richmond, Rod Strickland.
Okay.
Rod Strickland was very hard to guard. I didn't really have too many more problems with anybody, but if it had to be, it would be Tim Hardaway.
So we're talking 96. No other guard has done it. Why do you think it's been taking so long for another guards to accomplish that?
Because basketball has changed. It's not about defense anymore. It's about all offense. People don't guard nobody anymore, not in the NBA. So for me to do it at a point guard position and change the game, that's what they seen me do. I made point guards and coaches change their offensive strategy because of me. Because I wouldn't let the point guard get the team in the offense. So what they had to do, they had to bring the 2 guard down, or the 3 guard, or the 3-man down to bring the ball up. And by the time they do that and try to get it in the point guard's hand, the shot clock is almost at 9 seconds or 8 seconds, and they couldn't run their offense.
So everybody know, if you're a great defender, you're going to get got sometimes. It's just nature of the game. So the Jason Williams.
I know what you're going to say.
Talk us through the Jason Williams one.
This is when he was a rookie. I didn't know he was this tricky with the basketball. So when I tried to, I thought he was going to slow up and right here and don't do it and go back out and get a ball to Chris Webber. But he was so tricky with the ball that he kept going and switched it over. And I didn't know, I never looked at his highlights because he did this a lot. And then he started doing it. And then look, you see him, he had good handles. He was really, really tricky with the basketball. And he fooled me a lot. He fooled me really tough with that one. And then all he did was make it hard on himself, though, for the whole night. Because I ended up with 35 and 14 on him. So
wow.
it made it a bad night for him.
Let's talk about some of the trash talk, though. We have a clip, I think I was with Vashawn Leonard. Do you remember what you were saying to him during this game?
Well, Vashawn was really basically just trying to talk. And I'm telling him, man, it ain't good to be talking to me, because I'm going to kill y'all. I'm going to bust y'all head open, man. And Vashawn is the one that he ain't going to back down. See, I can take him every time, and he going to foul me. See, I'm going to get him to foul me all day.
Really getting in under the skin of Leonard. I mean, it's the point now where Leonard's going to have to add on to his house because Payton coming there to live.
And he ended up committing 3 fouls in a row. Like, you really got in his head in this one.
Yes, I did. Because he was talking, and a lot of players can't talk and play basketball like I could do.
Jalen Rose said you're the most hostile trash talker of all time. KG agreed with him. You agree? Do you agree? I mean, you played against a lot of people that are also trash talkers. Would you say you're the most hostile one?
Well, we had Dennis Rodman and we had Kevin Garnett. So I don't know if I'm the most hostile. I'm probably in the top 3, and we are probably the top 3. But I think KG is number 1. You know what I'm saying? KG takes it to a whole nother level.
We have a block on Kobe. Talk us through it. This is a big moment.
Kobe always wanted to be a guy who basically learned. He wanted to learn from a lot of us. It wasn't nothing that he wanted to, be against you all the time. He was a knowledge. He always wanted to put knowledge into it. Mm-hmm. And in the first part of his career, he always asked me about how to do stuff and how to do this. And that's what I liked about Kobe.
A relationship you have with another NBA great, Jason Kidd. You guys grew up together to some extent. So talk to me about your relationship.
Well, Jason, basically played for my father. He's 5 years younger than me. We grew up in Oakland, California. I was off already playing in college, and he was in high school. And then all of a sudden, I came home my first year in the pros, and they said he's selling out all of his high school games, and it's not enough seats to accommodate him. So they moved to the Oakland Coliseum. And he was averaging about 40, 15, and 15. I was like, wow. And all of a sudden, when he started getting a little older, I started letting him come work out with us in the summers when I came home from the pros. But then I started beating on him all the time. I would send him home crying, doing a lot of things like that. I wouldn't let him score. And then he kept coming back day in and day out. He kept coming back. And then he stopped being a little boy to us. He started being a grown man. And he started playing with us, and he started doing his thing. So, it happened. He goes into the pros and becomes a Hall of Famer.
You kind of helped put that dog in Jason Kidd, right?
Yeah, you got to come from Oakland. You got to be a dog. You can't be no meow. You can't be a meow. You got to be a dog.
We have a clip of you guarding a rookie LeBron James. Talk us through this game, this moment. You basically forcing LeBron to airball at the end.
You see how I get up into him. Don't let him do what he want to do and stay always being active with him. And that's all I was doing, being active, poking at him. And you see, before he took the shot, I swiped at the basketball. Mm-hmm. Right here, I get up into him. Then all of a sudden he goes, and I'm still in front, but I swipe, and it takes him something away from him. And he tried to grab it again and shoot it, but it went for an air ball.
So when you were guarding him in this game, did you see it in him that he'll be one of the all-time greats?
Yeah, you seen it. You seen he was a golden child when he came up in here in this league because he did special things. That's why right now in his 17th season, he's still playing the way he's playing.
So let's talk about the time that y'all played together, get to the finals, game 3, game winner. At this point, y'all down 0-2. You know what I'm saying? So this is like the turning point in the entire series. I mean, is there any nerves going into this shot?
I hadn't took a shot all game. My guy was supposed to go in and D up everybody. I was supposed to slow down Jason Terry. That's all I was supposed to do and let us win a championship. But me being a professional, I'm a professional. I have to be ready for these type of shots. And, me being who I was and always taking shots like this was just a routine shot for me to knock it down. And it was a routine shot, and then it's got us a win, and we went on from there to win 3 more and win a championship.
So you guarded MJ, you played with Cole, you played with LeBron. Who is your GOAT looking back through it?
I don't judge people. I don't put goats in it. I tell you the truth. I don't do that. I don't say who's better than who because some of these guys didn't play each other. I really think Wilt Chamberlain was the best basketball player I ever seen in the history of basketball. Mm-hmm. When a guy can average 40 and 30 in 1 year, 40 points and 30 rebounds in 1 year, I don't care what you say. He's phenomenal. But you look at Larry Bird, you look at Magic Johnson. Come on, man. You look at Shaquille O'Neal. Come on, man. You look at everybody. Everybody. Michael Jordan, Kobe, they all were great basketball players. So I don't do that. I don't judge anybody. Like I said, I think they all are great basketball players. It's all our opinion anyway.
That's all we got for you, GP, man. I appreciate you coming onto the show. This was a blast.
Thank you very much, man. Y'all, thank you for having me on. Anytime y'all want me, man, let's do it again.
We'll call you up. There's so many highlights out there. We may have to call you for another episode.
Let's do it. I'm with you.